Chapter 2573. Haha, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how Candy Fruit performs. As Yun-yi stood on the stage holding onto the trophy, she was not happy at all. She knew very well that she had no right to win this year's Best Actress award. Even though she really wanted to surpass Tanghwa and beat her in every aspect, she wasn't stupid. As she held onto the trophy and listened to the host's praise, she subconsciously looked over at Tanghwa. She saw that Yun-yi was still smiling without a trace of awkwardness. It was like she didn't care about the trophy at all. At this moment, a sense of defeat rose in her heart. It turned out that the thing that she had been working so hard for, Yun-yi didn't care at all. This feeling made her feel very uncomfortable. She still had a question in her mind. How did the Best Actress award end up in her hands? As she thought about the smiles on the Yun couple's faces when she attended the gala, her expression changed slightly. Her parents couldn't have helped her, right? As for why she didn't suspect Yun Zishan, it was because Yun Zishan told her that she might not win the award this time. He also said that even if she didn't win the Best Actress award, it wasn't a bad thing for her. At least she had attracted a group of fans and had a good reputation in the outside world. The next time she chose a better script, her chances of winning the award would be higher. In reality, Yun Zishan saw how strong Tanghwa was and knew that if Yun-yi and Tanghwa went against each other, they wouldn't be able to win. If Tanghwa hadn't grown up yet, he would have used all sorts of methods to make Yun-yi stand on top of her. But Tanghwa had already gone international. If he forced Yun-yi to step on her, their reputation would be ruined and it wouldn't be worth it. He was already planning to avoid Tanghwa when he accepted films for Yun-yi in the future. With her schedule, Yun-yi wouldn't appear in films. If her schedule was a drama, Yun-yi would film a film. This way they wouldn't clash and each would be fine. But he didn't expect that the Yun couple would ruin everything that he had painstakingly planned for Yun-yi. At this moment, the entire Yun family was sitting in front of their computers, watching the live broadcast of the award ceremony. The Yun couple was full of smiles when they saw that Yun-yi had won the award. They didn't notice that Yun Zishan's expression was ugly. If he hadn't tried his best to control himself, he would have stood up and yelled, "It's over. It's over. Director Yun? Arranged to inform the public relations team. What's wrong, President Yun? Don't sleep tonight. There are a lot of things to do later." Yun Zishan hung up the phone and let out a long sigh. Then he noticed that Yun Zishu was smiling at him. "Zishu, what are you so proud of?" Yun Zishu retracted his expression. "I'm not proud of anything. I'm just thinking that if I take something that I shouldn't take, I'll suffer a backlash sooner or later." "How can you talk like that? Who exactly is your younger sister? Whose side are you on?" Yun Zishan grabbed onto Yun Zishu's collar, unable to control himself any longer. "Xiaoyi is your younger sister. Get this straight. I didn't say that Xiaoyi isn't my sister. On the contrary, I dote on her. But Xiaoguo is also my little sister, but I can't accept that you're bullying Xiaoguo because of Xiaoyi. If you didn't have so many things to do with Xiaoyi's ability, wouldn't she be able to stand firmly in this circle?" Chapter 2574. I've never denied Xiaoyi's excellence, but why do you have to snatch Xiaoguo's things for her? Do you feel indignant that Xiaoguo is not related to us by blood after 16 years of hard work? You want to take everything back. How disgusting. Yun Zishan had just finished speaking when he was beaten up by Yun Zishan. The Yun couple hurriedly tried to stop the fight, but Yun Zimo was very calm and asked them what was going on. Yun Zimo was not clear about the entertainment industry. He was usually very busy and did not have time to listen to gossip. Yun Zishan took a deep breath and explained the pros and cons of the matter. Yun Zishan continued, "This is called counterproductive. The first time you snatched Xiaoguo's movie resources. In the end, Xiaoguo chose the theme of Interstellar to reach a height that no one can surpass. The second time, you secretly let Xiaoyi win the Best Actress award for this year's film festival. But do you know? Before tomorrow, Xiaoyi will be scolded by the entire internet because this award does not live up to its name. Don't tell me that you didn't do this?" Yun Zishan's voice was calm. "Second brother is not that bad. He would not do such a thing. Big brother is very busy and has no time to care about this. Other than you, who else could it be?" Father Yun was embarrassed. "It's just the small entertainment industry's Best Actress award. What's the big deal? Our Xiaoyi likes it and her acting is not bad. What's wrong with letting her win?" "Yes, our Xiaoyi's acting is really not bad." Mother Yun did not think that it was a big deal. The two of them were used to using the Yun family's resources to get what they wanted. They did not care about the power of the internet at all. Moreover, in their eyes, that industry was not worth mentioning at all. People at their level could wave their hands and ask people in that industry to call them grandparents. Therefore they looked down on it. Their daughter was just going in to play. It was not a big deal. While the Yun family was noisy, the internet was even more noisy. There was an overwhelming amount of ridicule that Yun Yi's award did not live up to its name. Even if her acting was not bad, her performance in the movie was not as good as Tangwa's. Next, countless internet users analyzed the inside story of this incident. When Tangwa walked out of the scene, she was surrounded by countless reporters. At the same time, Yun Yi was also surrounded. However, there were more than 20 bodyguards around Yun Yi, and they quickly sent her to the car. On Tangwa's side, there were only 4 or 5 people. Yun Yi's side was too intimidating. They only took 2 photos and then surrounded Tangwa. "Excuse me, Best Actress Tang, how do you feel about not winning Best Actress this time?" "Best Actress Tang, did you come to the film festival because you thought you could win an award like last time? Are you sad to be surpassed by Yuni, a rising star? Do you think the organizers have any insider information about this award ceremony? Movie Queen Tang, will you attend the film festival again?" Tangwa was bombarded with questions one after another. She stood in the middle with an indifferent expression, not showing the slightest bit of awkwardness. "You guys have too many questions. Who should I answer first?" Then it was another barrage of questions. The reporters were all asking questions at once. Suddenly they all quieted down because Tangwa was looking at them with a smile. This made them feel a little scared. Chapter 2575. Movie Queen Tang, do you feel regretful that you didn't win the Best Actress award this time? One of the bolder reporters asked. The corners of Tangwa's lips curled up slightly. "Why should I regret it? Anyone would feel regretful that you didn't win the Best Actress award." Tangwa said, "Are you saying that I'm not human?" No. The reporter panicked. Something was wrong. He quickly changed the topic. "Then what do you think about the organizer's decision?" "What should I think?" The reporter felt pressured and mustered up his courage. "Are you unhappy?" "Why should I be unhappy?" "No, this didn't make sense. What I mean is, if you don't have any other questions, it's late. I'm going home." Under the speechless gaze of the reporters, Tangwa was escorted into the car. The reporters looked at each other and held their cameras dispiritedly. "I was the one who asked her, why am I stumped in the end?" "You're silly. How are we going to write this?" "Make it up. Start with a picture and we'll have to make up the rest." "I can't make it up this time. I'm actually her fan. How can I defame my goddess? I was so excited just now. My goddess is my goddess. I was so nervous that I couldn't speak." The courageous reporter revealed his pearly white teeth and smiled. "My goddess is finally in the car. I can go home too. I'm so happy. I'll brag about it in the group later. I'll definitely be praised by my friends." The reporters thought, is this a fake reporter? Tangwa didn't care about a film festival award. In the original plot, there was such a scene. At that time, the character played by the original owner was still very good. It was just that the movie wasn't as shocking as this galactic origin. At that time, the original owner wasn't at her level. Even if the Yun family really organized such an award for Yun Yi, no one on the internet would find it a problem. After all, Yun Yi's literary film did well at the box office and there were so many showtimes. How could it not be good? It could be said that at that time, no one on the internet attacked Yun Yi. They were all congratulating her. However, things were different this time. If the Yun family didn't do such a stupid thing, she would be happy to receive this award and everyone would be at peace. If the Yun family helped Yun Yi win this award, they would be digging their own graves. When Tangwa got out of the car, Rong-su was already waiting at the door. He quickly came up to open the car door for her, took a coat and put it on her, and hugged her in his arms. "If I had known, I would have sent a few more bodyguards for you." "It's okay, our reporter friends are very polite." The assistant. "Are you sure you're not frightened by my gaze?" However, among the reporters today, there was indeed a little idiot causing trouble. If it wasn't for that little idiot reporter, it wouldn't have been so easy to get away. Rong-su did not believe her joke. As for the situation of the film festival, he was busy looking at it. If it wasn't for an urgent matter, he would have accompanied her. Xiaogua is the best in my heart. Actually, he's also the best in the eyes of the audience. "Brother Rong, are you comforting me?" Rong-su observed her for a moment and found that she didn't look sad at all. He led her into the house. "I thought you would be sad or at least regretful. After all, you spent too much effort on this film." Chapter 2576. It's just an award. What's there to regret? The awards are judged by a few people, and the people who like the movie are those who have seen it. The awards are no longer important at this time. That's right. We just need to understand that Xiaogua is the best. You must be tired. Come here and I'll remove your makeup. Take a bath later and go to bed early. Don't be busy for now and have a good rest. In the end, Rong Su added, we haven't gone out on a date for a long time. Then I'll take another month off? Haven't you seen a script recently? No, Ran is still thinking about the interstellar theme. It will probably take a year or two. I said I would wait for him to do this. As for the TV series, I haven't seen a suitable one yet. Then let's discuss tomorrow where to go for the next date. Brother Rong, aren't you busy with work? I've been working overtime recently, so I should be able to spare some time. Tixin is also in touch with these things. When the time comes, I'll ask that kid to come over and help me watch. Tangguo was stunned. What about the Chui family? Tixin said to play with them first. There's no hurry. He doesn't want to alert the enemy. Now his father's influence on him is much better. This kid is still good at pretending to comply. After the two of them discussed, Tangguo gave her assistant another month of paid leave the next day. In the past few days, she took Rong Su's private jet and the two of them went to a private island for a vacation, living a happy life. Sigh, my unscrupulous uncle. Chui Taixin sighed and glanced at Tang Lin, who was seriously working on the documents. You're still so young and your sister is bullying you. You don't even complain. Sister and brother-in-law haven't had a good date for a long time. Brother-in-law is a good person. It's only right to help them do such a small thing. Tang Lin's face was serious. Moreover, let me experience such a big company in advance so that I won't be scared when I stand on higher occasions in the future. Speaking of which, brother-in-law is still giving me a chance to train. I must seize this opportunity. Okay. I heard you've already acknowledged a teacher? Yes. Chui Taixin pondered for a moment. I didn't know that you were so ambitious. You wanted to be a diplomat. Tang Lin only smiled. Hurry up and deal with it. Didn't you say that you still have a project to deal with in the afternoon? Okay, then you can talk to them when the time comes. Is that okay? No problem. In the afternoon, the contract was signed. Chui Taixin looked at Tang Lin, who was smiling calmly with a dumbfounded expression. He slapped Tang Lin on the shoulder. You brat, you're good. I didn't expect you to be so good at deceiving people. You're really a fucking talent. No wonder you have such far-reaching revenge. Tang Lin was still very calm and maintained a harmless smile, which made Chui Taixin a little scared. As for the Yun family, they were in a terrible fix. Yun Yi flipped through the internet and saw that people were scolding her. She felt a little uncomfortable. As for Tangguo, she heard that she gave her assistant another month of paid leave. She went on vacation. The Yun couple didn't expect the matter to blow up so big. No matter what they did, they wanted to save Yun Yi's reputation. But this time, the netizens didn't fall for it. They even said that Yun Yi's internet water army was really good at clearing her name. Some people even suspected that Yun Yi's previous persona was deliberately created. Otherwise, with so many people in that reality show, why was Yun Yi the only one who benefited, while all the others were the ones who created the topic? The more they thought about it, the more frightened the netizens were. Best Actress Award? This bean sprout is really capable. Tang Wen held her phone and took a sip. She really deserves it. This wretched girl really knows how to use the situation to create hype for herself. She even used the Yun family to win the Best Actress Award. Sister Xiaoguo really wants it. Suddenly, Tang Wen smiled and her fingers quickly landed on her phone. Not long after, an inside story about Yun Yi's identity was exposed on Weibo. Chapter 2577. What? Yun Yi is actually the heiress of the Yun family? So Yun Yi is the heiress of the Yun family. No wonder she debuted with a popular reality show. There's basically no negative news about her on the internet. If that's the case, why do I suspect that the Yun family was helping Yun Yi with the reality show? Yes. I have a deep impression of that show. Before it even started airing, there were already videos with all kinds of topics. They were all taken out of context. Especially the few that stuck out, they were basically slandered like the bottom of a pot. Although most of the rumors were cleared after it was aired, the reputation of those few artists can't compare to Yun Yi. There were also a few that didn't stand out. They also had a little bit of a topic. Or perhaps they took advantage of this time to create some hype. You could more or less see some negative news about them. Yun Yi is different. Thinking about it carefully, wasn't her performance from the beginning a little too perfect? Yes, perfect. She's like a fake person. Whether it's a person or in this industry, I really don't believe that there's such a perfect person. Actually, it's hard to say. She's the future of the Yun family. Perhaps there's nothing wrong with Yun-yi. After all, she stood at this height from the beginning. If a rich heiress wants to enter the entertainment industry, her family will definitely protect her. Perhaps she's not that perfect, but I believe that in this industry she should be considered clean and pure. Yes, she's a rich heiress. Her family is so powerful. Does she need to use any tricks? Because only Yun-yi's identity had been exposed on the internet so far, netizens were all discussing her identity. Yun-yi's fans, on the other hand, were not overly agitated. Instead, they felt that this was something to be proud of. Even if our Yi is a rich heiress, even if her family has so many resources for her, she's still very hardworking. She never acts like a big shot and her acting skills are also very good. Let me ask you, how many people would be arrogant if they were in our Yi's position? What do you say about our Yi? But has she ever hurt anyone? I really don't understand when the identity of a rich heiress can be mocked by the public. Yun-yi's fans stood out. Other than a few passers-by who felt that Yun-yi was pretending and felt that she was fake, the rest of the passers-by also agreed. The other artists who originally wanted to step on Yun-yi didn't dare to act rashly when they saw her true identity. Just as everyone was accepting this identity, some news about Yun-yi was exposed. A small account wrote, "You guys are really too naive. If I'm here?" In this circle, people of high and low status can mix in. The reason why I singled out Yun-yi is because she has something worth mocking. I mainly want to talk about how Yun-yi won this award. Hurry up, girl. Calm down. Chapter 2578. It was mainly because Yun-yi's identity was too shocking and many people's attention was diverted. Now that they thought about it, it was very scary. Just as they were thinking about it and were about to go online to talk about it, the content on the second account was updated again. It wrote, "Don't panic, I have more news here. We all know that Yun-yi lived in the countryside, but do you know why she lived in the countryside?" Tang Wen, who was typing backstage, had a distorted smile on her face. That bean sprout wanted to live a glamorous life? Dream on. A wretched girl who grew up in the countryside actually had such a good life. She was really proud of having a big family backing her. She could get whatever award she wanted. She wouldn't let her get what she wanted. When many netizens saw the story between Yun-yi and Tangwa on the second account, they were shocked beyond words. One was Yun-yi, the daughter of the Yun family. The other was Tangwa, an actress with a humble background. It was supposed to be a completely unrelated matter, but they actually had such a deep relationship. When the netizens saw that the two of them were swapped at the hospital when they were young, they almost vomited blood. What surprised them even more was that the two of them were swapped back. The Yun family actually used their own resources to snatch the award that Tangwa should have won and let Yun-yi win it. Many people had witnessed Tangwa climb up step by step. From the beginning she played a small role to later on she had the opportunity to play a supporting role. It took a lot of time during this period. In the end, she finally got the role of the female lead and really gained a foothold. Yun-yi, on the other hand, debuted in a reality show in a high-profile way. Later on, she acted as the second female lead in a drama. Then she naturally became the first female lead. The comparison made the netizens feel strange. The people around Tangwen had even discussed the award issue at the film festival. Many of the people she knew were Tangwa's fans. They were all angry that Tangwa didn't win the best female lead this time. They even verbally attacked Yun-yi and said that there was no inside story. It was impossible. The people outside didn't know, but couldn't they guess? Tangwen wasn't that stupid. She didn't dare to discuss the matter between Yun-yi and Tangwa with them. If she was really implicated, she definitely wouldn't be able to survive in this circle. Therefore, she planned to secretly expose this matter. Why was it that the bean sprout that she had bullied since she was a child was now so unreachable and high and mighty? It was really annoying. After sending these messages, Tangwen logged out of her alternate account and cleared all the messages. When Tangwen put down her phone, she didn't know that a new piece of news had appeared on another account. This account wrote, "I used to wonder why the actress in Choligay's movie was originally set to be movie Queen Tang, but later changed to Yun-yi. So that's why. Now I finally understood. Those who weren't related by blood really couldn't compare to those who were related by blood." This revelation pushed Yun-yi and Tangwa's names to the top of the search rankings, and their popularity only increased. The public was in a frenzy about this. The Yun family also didn't expect things to develop to this extent. Previously, the reason why Yun-yi won the award at the film festival didn't cause a stir on the internet was because he was already prepared. As soon as there was a sign, he asked someone to suppress it. Chapter 2579. However, Every piece of news that was exposed by these two different accounts was a fatal blow to Yun. Even if it didn't cause any substantial damage, given some time, the Yun family would be able to suppress it. However, even if they could suppress one platform, they couldn't suppress all platforms. They could suppress the platforms, but they couldn't suppress the netizens' mouths. If they wanted to discuss it, they could always find an opportunity to do so. The Yun family was powerful, but they weren't powerful enough to cover the sky. The most important thing was that the image that he had created for Yun had collapsed. Even if he told everyone that Yun had always been like this, no one would believe him. Father Yun and Mother Yun were trembling with anger when they saw the netizens scolding Yun. Zishan, hurry up and get someone to suppress this news. If Xiaoyi sees it, she'll be so sad. Yeah, what are these netizens talking about? We only have one daughter, Xiaoyi. What does fighting for her have to do with these netizens? Mother Yun's expression was also very ugly. She and Father Yun never thought that these netizens would scold them so harshly through a screen. Also, find out who exposed Xiaoyi's news. Father Yun actually didn't care about these netizens. Even if they scolded to the heavens, the Yun family would still be the same. These netizens were merely scolding them on the internet. Perhaps they were sitting in a shabby rental house, holding a broken domestic phone and using it. Mother Yun also thought of this problem. Not many people know about Xiaoyi's matter. Even in your circle, no one knows about it. And people at our level wouldn't do such a thing if they knew about it. Suddenly Mother Yun froze. Zishan, do you think that Xiaogua asked someone to do this secretly? Is she unhappy that she didn't win this award, so she's holding a grudge and exposed everything so that so many netizens are helping her scold Xiaoyi? Mother Yun thought about it for two reasons. First, the news that was written on the account said that Best Actress Tang was wronged. She couldn't help but think more about it. Ever since her Xiaoyi debuted, she had always been obedient in acting. She had never done anything to bully others. Apart from Tanghua and Xiaoyi having a conflict, she couldn't think of anyone else. Last time, Yun Zishan had helped Xiaoyi get a role that the other party had more or less confirmed. Coupled with this incident, no matter how you looked at it, it was suspicious. Yun Zishan was also suspicious. That's right, could this matter be related to Tanghua? Both times, the other party had remained silent. Did he really not have any complaints in his heart? If it really is her, then we have really raised an ingrate for the past 16 years. Yun Zishu stood up and said, Dad, Mom, I didn't want to say anything at first, but I'm not used to hearing such accusations without any evidence. Xiaogua has lived in our family for 16 years. Don't you know what kind of personality she has? If she really wanted to attack and suppress Xiaoyi, she would have done it long ago. Don't think that she can't do it. Mother Yun said, but people change. Besides, she was born in that big vat. How did she get to where she is today based on her own abilities? Mom, I've said it before. You can't simply slander others. Xiaogua isn't that kind of person. She got to where she is today because of her own abilities. She is innocent and her actions are righteous. Yun Zishu looked at Mother Yun and Father Yun's suspicious expressions and was about to die from anger. You two are really unreasonable. They had completely forgotten that in the era of big data, they really didn't have the final say. Even though countless trending searches had been removed, the netizens were still discussing and mocking him. When the organizers of this year's film festival posted that Yun deserved the award, it was the result of her hard work. They were ridiculed by the entire internet. Chapter 2581. Dad, Mom, what did you do this time? Yun Zishan was about to go crazy. It wasn't easy to calm things down, but it was all in vain. Father Yun said, what else can we do? We're just expressing our Yun family's attitude. Expressing our attitude? What are you guys talking about on the internet? Dad, the internet is different from the places you control. It's not something that can be solved with a lawyer's letter. Get someone to suppress the trending topic. Let Xiaoyi rest for a while. In 2 days your mother and I will take her out to relax. After a while we'll come back and this matter will be settled. When the time comes, Xiaoyi will act as she should. Didn't you say that the netizens are forgetful? After a while they'll forget everything. This time Yun Zishan didn't expect it. When you come back, choose a big production for Xiaoyi. Let those people open their eyes and see. Since she's the daughter of the Yun family, they'll support her at all costs. What can they say? Those words on the internet also made Father Yun angry. He didn't believe that with the help of capital, his daughter wouldn't be able to become famous. These weren't things that the netizens could say. Also, have you found out who posted that news? I'm still investigating. At this time, Tanghua was on vacation on a small island far away. She also heard the system tell her about what was happening in the country. She wasn't surprised by the actions of the Yun couple, because in the original plot they did the same thing. But in the original plot they succeeded. Not only did they not smear Yun Yi's reputation, but they also made the entire internet envious. Yun Yi had a good father and mother who actually stood up for their daughter at this time. Many people called them father and mother through the screen. After Yun Yi's identity was exposed, she had been acting in the doting of her family. Countless people envied her every day. But now it was different. It was all thanks to the script that the host took out. If it was really a little better than Yun Yi's and couldn't reach the same level as other movies, the netizens might not necessarily mock her. It might be similar to the original plot. That's why I chose to take it out. If it's a little better, ordinary people won't be able to tell. But if it's a lot better, those who aren't idiots will understand. Tanguo paused. Is the person who spread the news Tangwen? It was her. The Yun family was investigating right now. They were probably going to find out about her soon. Oh, then let's add fuel to the fire and let the Yun family find out about the information that we found recently. By the way, send the movie to the group and let my friends have a look. After all, we wrote the script together. The script of this movie was, of course, the result of everyone's discussion. However, she couldn't say that to outsiders. Now that the finished product was out, it was time for them to take a good look. I didn't need the host to tell me that. I've already shown it to them. It seemed that the host had been too comfortable recently and had forgotten about this matter. They all said that the effect was better than they had expected. As the system spoke, it glanced at the group. After a while, its voice rang out. Dear host, quickly take a look at the group. Something seems to have happened. Hearing this, Tanguo quickly sank her consciousness into the group and found that most of the people in the group were there. Moreover, they were constantly giving out red packets. She scrolled up and found that other than her friends in the galaxy, everyone else was giving out red packets. They even asked General Billy and Emmanuel if they had enough. Chapter 2582. Campus Bell. Billy, Emmanuel, what's going on over there? General Billy, Campus Bell, it's rare to see you. Originally, it was a happy occasion to see you, but something very unfortunate happened over here. If we can't hold on this time, it might become a disaster for the entire galaxy. Tanguo was shocked. Is it that serious? Campus Bell, what happened? Emmanuel, a disaster that has never happened since the galaxy was opened. Even now, we still haven't found the source of this disaster. If it weren't for this group, we might have fallen into a panic like everyone else in the galaxy. Fortunately, this group gave us a chance to survive. We didn't have to panic when it happened. General Billy, it's as if the entire interstellar universe has been invaded by a strange virus. Large patches of plants are slowly dying, and no matter what we do, we can't grow any plants. Note that I said no matter what we do. Even if we're at the forefront of technology and have all kinds of nutrient solutions, we still can't grow plants. Emmanuel, once plants disappear from this world, all living things in the galaxy will turn into sand. General Billy, our empire is already trying our best to find other galaxies. However, as far as we can reach, all the plants are slowly dying. We haven't found a pure land yet. Emmanuel, according to the latest news I received, humanity can only hold on for 200 years at most. Once we run out of refrigerated items, it will be the end of the galaxy. The words of the two made Tanguo understand that they were experiencing a disaster. Campus Bell, what do you need? How can I help you? I'm in a normal world now. If you need plants, I can get people to contract greenhouses and help you grow all kinds of plants. But I'm here. Counting the time, you have less than 30 years left. In these 30 years, I can help you with anything you need. General Billy and Emmanuel quickly thanked her and said that they wouldn't hold back this time. Tanguo didn't continue the conversation. After exiting the group, her heart felt heavy. The people in the group had been with her for too long. She was sad to hear the news. Dear host, with you here, they will definitely be able to survive this crisis. Okay, I'm fine. Help me find a suitable place to grow plants. Choose a place abroad. It's best to rent some small islands. It's easy to be noticed if you do this kind of thing in China. Okay, I'll go right away. The system went to find a place. Tanguo contacted some automatic planters, fertilizers, and watering machines. She ordered a large number of them at first. When the system found a suitable place, she took the time to sign a contract. Why did you suddenly book an island? Rongsu was very strange. One book was for more than 20 years. I have something important to do. Rongsu nodded. I saw that you also ordered a lot of planter machines. Yes, I plan to plant some plants on the island. Rongsu's interest was piqued. What kind of plants are you planting? Could it be that his Xiaogua had nowhere to spend her money and wanted to plant some green plants for fun? This interest was really unique. fruit and vegetables. Rong Su was puzzled, but seeing that Tangwa didn't explain further, he didn't ask. Use my card. Tangwa's heavy heart suddenly relaxed. I made a lot of money too. I'll spend yours after spending it. System, host, do you know how much money you have? Maybe you can't spend it all. After that, Rong Su also helped Tangwa recruit a group of workers to go to the island to help grow fruits and vegetables. She didn't know how much Emmanuel needed, but General Billy should need a lot. When everything was ready, Tangwa received an invitation from the organizers of the International Film Festival, inviting her to participate in this year's International Film Festival. At this time, the people in the country were still talking about Tao Yuni. Even if the Yun family tried their best to suppress it, they couldn't. Yuni was also taken abroad for a vacation. Coincidentally, it was the country where the International Film Festival was held a few years ago. Chapter 2583. Do you know where I am now? A host appeared on camera with a smile. I'm at the venue of the International Film Festival. Outside the venue. I'm sorry. Although I want to go in and take a look, I don't have an invitation. I can't go in. At this point, the host's expression suddenly became strange and his voice became low. It's useless even if you bribe me. The fans, who were already in high spirits, started to type out their comments after hearing this. You must ask why I'm here. According to the grapevine, movie queen Tang will be here today. She received an invitation. After all, her movie's box office is the best in the world. It's impossible that she won't be invited, right? After we get movie queen Tang, we'll go to other places. Since we're here, we have to take a look. I heard that the food in this country is quite delicious. Let's try out the food in the next few days. At this time, countless people in the country knew that today was the International Film Festival. Although they couldn't go, the officials didn't plan to broadcast the festival globally. However, some anchors from various countries were waiting outside, ready to spread the news to the outside world at any time. Until now, the International Film Festival had been very authoritative. As the host said before, even if you bribed people, you couldn't get in. Those who could enter were either staff members or those who had been invited by the organizers and were deemed qualified to participate. These people, without exception, had a certain status in the international film industry. A movie about interstellar origins, plus Tangwa's acting skills played a huge role in it. Naturally, she was invited. Ran Shu was also invited. At the same time, the male lead of the movie and several important supporting roles were invited. When Tangwa appeared outside the film festival venue with Rong Su's arm, they were surrounded by many reporters waiting outside. She hadn't appeared for a long time, and the reporters were snapping pictures of her. The host from before also quickly turned the camera to Tangwa's position. In this kind of crowded venue, the tall selfie had a lot of advantages. Did you see that? Movie Queen Tang is here. Hey, who's the man she's holding? He's so handsome. Why didn't we see such a handsome person before? He must not be from the industry. Although Tangwa rarely appeared in the live broadcast, it was enough to make the fans go crazy. Many people frantically took screenshots. Not long after, Tangwa's appearance at the International Film Festival became a hot topic in China. Many people were waiting for this day. They were even looking forward to her obtaining the honor that belonged to her here. As for Yun Yi, she didn't receive an invitation from the organizers of the International Film Festival, even though her movie had grossed more than 1 billion yuan in the domestic box office. However, the theme of this movie was not popular internationally. The emotions expressed in it could not resonate. Therefore, after the organizers voted, this movie was not nominated. Even if the local judges voted for this movie, it would still be useless. The outcome of this matter was not in the hands of one party, but all the participants of the film festival. Father Yun and Mother Yun did not expect that the place they took Yun Yi to was the location of the International Film Festival. Vertex. Chapter 2584. Actually, they hadn't stayed in this place for a long time. They had gone around many countries and just happened to arrive here. In the past few months, Yun Yi hadn't acted in any films and didn't shoot any advertisements. Yun Zishan had been dealing with all kinds of mess in the country and didn't expect that this matter would be so coincidental. When he saw that Tangwa had inexplicably become a trending topic on the internet and it was even about the International Film Festival, his heart skipped a beat. Sure enough, not long after, people on the internet dragged Yun Yi out again. The general content was that back then, Yun Yi had the Yun family to stand up for them and snatch Tangwa's Best Actress award. Now that Tangwa was invited to the International Film Festival, they wondered where Yun Yi was now and if they were invited together. To be honest, they were quite looking forward to this matter. Yun Zishan rubbed between his eyebrows and hurriedly asked people to suppress some of the topics about Yun Yi. It wasn't easy for the topic to be suppressed after a few months, but it was brought up again. At this moment he suddenly realized something. That was, as long as Tanguo appeared in the future, Yun Yi would be dragged out and ridiculed by the crowd. This gave him a headache. In the era of big data, the netizens wouldn't consider the truth of the matter. Moreover, the truth of the matter was that his parents had indeed snatched Tanguo's award. Yun Zishan returned to the villa and saw Yun Zishu playing with his phone with interest. When he walked over to take a look, he realized that he had actually opened a smurf account to promote Tanguo. This made Yun Zishan a little angry and he wanted to snatch the phone away, but Yun Zishu avoided him. Do you think there isn't enough trouble? It wasn't easy to let Xiao Yi go out to relax and things are slowly calming down. Now many people on the internet are attacking Xiao Yi again. Yun Zishu, then is it my fault? Xiao Yi is our sister Zishu. Second brother, Xiao Yi has encountered so much and it's all your fault. I've said it before, Xiao Yi isn't worse than anyone else. It's just that you guys are too eager for instant success. Yun Zishan wanted to say something but Yun Zishu took the phone upstairs. Alright, I'm guessing that Xiaoguo will definitely win an award at the International Film Festival this time. Second brother, you should prepare early. However, I want to remind you that you can protect Xiao Yi but you can't hurt Xiaoguo. Yun Zishu returned to his room and closed the door. Yun Zishan was so angry that he kicked the sofa and hurriedly called his subordinates to arrange things. After hanging up the phone he was still worried. In the end, he dialed another number and said with a ruthless expression, "Go and arrest him. If the public opinion can't be suppressed, expose this matter." Tang Wen, who was having fun with her friends in the bar, was suddenly stopped by a few people when she went to the washroom. Before she could scream, she was taken away silently. Not long after, the news that Tanguo had been awarded the Best Actress award at the International Film Festival spread to China. At the same time, the film won the Best Film Festival Award, 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 Best Film Festival Award. When the news spread, the entire internet was in an uproar. With this slap in the face, countless netizens had no choice but to drag Yun Yi back into the group to ridicule her. It wasn't that Yun Yi wasn't capable but the Yun family's way of doing things. Now that Tanguo had achieved so much, wasn't she slapping the Yun family in the face? Vertex. Chapter 2585. Back then the Yun family suppressed the news and removed the trending searches. The power of capital was fully displayed, causing this group of netizens to feel aggrieved. Now that they could finally hold their heads high, how could they not find trouble? The only thing that they could ridicule was Yun Yi. If they didn't ridicule her, who else could they ridicule? Yun Yi didn't know about this for the time being. She was on vacation with her parents. Yun Zishan's team was dealing with these matters. In just a few hours, he had asked people to push out the trending searches of many artists in the industry. It was either that the artist was married or that two artists who had nothing to do with each other were actually in a relationship. Or that the person who went abroad to study was actually going to have a child. Also, a certain actress who was famous for being pure was actually a woman kept by a big shot. At the same time, a few intimate photos were released. In short, in order to reduce the popularity of Yun Yi's ridicule, Yun Zishan's team dragged a lot of people down in just a few hours. Other than Tanguo winning the Best Actress award at the International Film Festival and being on the trending searches, the rest were all kinds of news that were suddenly exposed in the industry, causing the netizens to eat a lot of melons. Yun Zishan's goal was barely achieved. At least now the netizens had no time to discuss Yun Yi. As for the artists whose secrets were exposed by him, they were now in a terrible state. They hurriedly asked their public relations team to remove the trending searches and clarify the facts. In short, they were especially busy today. When the popularity slowly died down, they had the time to think about who was messing with them. It's the Yun family. The Yun family? How could it be the Yun family? Sister Lee, are you mistaken? I didn't offend Sister Yun. Yun Yi and I don't even know each other. Why would they mess with me? Why else? Have you forgotten what day it is today? It's the International Film Festival. The news of Tanguo being in the limelight at the International Film Festival has spread. The news of Yun Yi being ridiculed by the crowd is on the trending searches. If they don't drag you people out, how can they divert their attention? That's too much. Isn't it just being scolded? If I were the daughter of the Yun family, being scolded would be pretty good. It's not like I'll lose a piece of meat. She's the daughter of a rich family. She has parents and brothers who dote on her. How can they bear to see her being scolded? She's already been immersed in it for a few months. Now that she's brought it up again, the Yun family definitely wouldn't want to see such a thing happen. That's the only thing they can do to divert attention. Since we can't afford to offend the Yun family, are we just going to let it go? This female artist was indignant. Why? She's clearly not as skilled as others and now she's being mocked by the crowd. She asked for it and now she's even dragging us down with her. Of course we can't just let this go. Just wait and see. Yun Yi's image has been destroyed. The Yun family's plan is only temporary. As long as Tang Gua stands tall in this circle, there will be many people who will mock Yun Yi. In the future, every time Tang Gua wins an award, Yun Yi will be ridiculed by everyone. Just wait and see, she won't have a good life. Really, sisterly? It's true. Moreover, the Yun family has dragged too many people down with them this time. Even if they don't dare to do anything on the surface, we can secretly push them behind their backs. Yun Yi won't be able to make a comeback in the future. So what if your acting skills are good? Once your reputation is gone, you can never get it back. Yun Zishan heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that the trending topic had been suppressed and that everyone's attention had been diverted. Vertex. Chapter 2586. As for whether the other artists were satisfied or not, he didn't really care. The people he chose to deal with were people who didn't dare to do anything to the Yun family. He also wanted to use other methods such as Tang Wen. Tang Wen was the one who exposed the previous incident. She even said that Tang Gua ordered her to do it. Actually, he didn't believe this. And because he didn't believe it, he didn't use the method of making Tang Wen expose herself. Because even if Tang Wen exposed herself and said that Tang Gua ordered her to do it, it wouldn't hurt Tang Gua at all. Everyone would still think that it was the right thing to do. Tang Gua, who was far away in another country, didn't know that there was an intense battle in the country. Yun Zishan had dragged countless artists down with him for Yun Yi and was hated by everyone. Just as Yun Zishan let out a sigh of relief, another piece of news appeared online. Yun Yi, who had been temporarily forgotten, was once again dragged out to be ridiculed. The trending topic was Yun Yi. She actually appeared at the International Film Festival. It seemed that a streamer's camera had captured her. Yun Zishan looked at the screenshot and felt a headache coming on. Now, the entire internet was discussing why Yun Yi appeared at that place. Someone even revealed that Yun Yi didn't even receive an invitation from the organizers. At this moment, everyone was confused. Sisterly, do you think this is karma? Look, the Yun family's PR seems to have been for nothing. That's enough. This matter is almost over. We don't have to do anything anymore. I didn't expect her to court death and appear at that place. You should solve your problem. Another day, hold a press conference and sincerely apologize to your fans. If you have a good attitude, you might be able to solidify your fans. Yes, I will. But I'm not done with the Yun family. Even though the Yun family hid the incident from the Chinese Film Festival, Yun Yi still found out. Xiaoyi, don't think too much. When you go back, ask your second brother to accept a big production for you. In the future, you will also be able to stand on the international stage. Yun Yi stared at her phone for a while. Then let's go back now. Also, Dad, Mom, what did you do for me? At this time, it's useless to do anything. Just let me act. If I do anything else, I might not be able to survive in this industry. It was impossible to say that Yun Yi had no complaints in her heart. However, it wasn't easy for her to obtain everything she had today, especially with a family that doted on her so much. She knew that everything they did was for her own good. That was why she didn't do anything in the past. Now, she was thinking that if she had played her part from the beginning, there wouldn't have been so many problems. Mother Yun seemed to have heard something and felt a little guilty. If Xiaoyi doesn't like acting anymore, we can do something else. Whether it's painting or working in our family's company, we can do anything. You don't have to be an actress. No, I just like acting. That day, Yun Yi's family returned to China. A few days later, Tang Gua also planned to return to China. This was because Ran Shu had told her that he was planning to shoot a second movie with an interstellar theme. He had already prepared the script and was just waiting to show it to her to see if there was anything that needed to be improved. Over at the Yun family, they were also reading the script for Yun Yi. Father and Mother Yun were no longer involved in the outside world. Under Yun Zishan's suppression, the situation slowly calmed down. Vertex. Chapter 2587. However, at this time, they inadvertently found out something about Yun Yi and Tang Gua being swapped. It wasn't a mistake, but someone did it on purpose. The person who did it on purpose was actually Duan Yuhong. When the family found out, they were furious. They immediately called the police and asked them to intervene and arrest Duan Yuhong. Tang Wen was taken away by some unknown people, but was later released. Now that she heard Tang Liming's call saying that Duan Yuhong was taken away by the police, she was still a little anxious. She had originally planned to go back directly, but she suddenly thought of Tanghua. She quickly called Tanghua and told her about Duan Yuhong's accident, asking her to go back with her. Tanghua agreed. In the old town, Tanghua saw Duan Yuhong. At the same time, she also saw the Yun family, including Yun Yi, whom she hadn't seen in a long time. The family's expressions were very complicated. Yun Yi was still very quiet and didn't take the initiative to speak. However, Tang Wen was very angry. She kept asking why Duan Yuhong was arrested. After the police explained, she found out what Duan Yuhong had done. For a moment, she was speechless as she looked at Yun Yi and Tanghua. Tang Liming immediately walked in front of Tanghua and begged her to save Duan Yuhong. He wanted her to plead with the Yun family. Before Tanghua could speak, Father Yun and Mother Yun's faces darkened. No one can plead for mercy on this matter. If it wasn't for Duan Yuhong, our Xiao Yi wouldn't have ended up in your family. After suffering so much, you still want us to forgive her? Dream on. Tang Liming looked at Tanghua blankly. Xiaogua, think of a way to help your Auntie Duan. Someone sent me this. Tanghua took out a file from her bag. It recorded that you had an affair and hooked up with Duan Yuhong. Also, when Yuni was found not to be your daughter, you hit and scolded my mother. Do you think I will forgive Duan Yuhong? I heard that my mother died in a car accident. She even came out to look for me and got into an accident. But in this file, someone pointed out that she saw you and Duan Yuhong hooking up and wanted to reason with you, but she was hit by a car and died. Speaking of which, Duan Yuhong should be my enemy. Do you think I will forgive an enemy? That's nonsense. Tang Liming's face turned red. Tanghua chuckled. Nonsense. The elders in the village should know about your situation, right? This wasn't a secret to begin with. Just by asking around a little, everyone should know about it. There are many things that Lin Lin has told me before. Tang Liming seemed to have thought of something and widened his eyes. So you already knew. That's right. Why else do you think I haven't come back for so many years? However, I really didn't expect that Duan Yuhong was the one who swapped Uni and me. Don't come begging me. This is where she belongs. Of course, there was nothing in Tanghua's file. It was just meant to threaten Tang Liming. Now, his expression made people believe her words without a doubt. She didn't find anything. She saw with her own eyes that Tang Liming's mother went to look for her, found out that Tang Liming and Duan Yuhong were hooking up, and was accidentally hit by a car and died. She had said all this according to the plot to trick Tang Liming and make him confess without being pressed. Obviously she had succeeded. The Yun family seemed to be a little shocked. They didn't expect this to happen. If I had known, I wouldn't have let you go to high school, Tang Liming said in exasperation. At the peak. Chapter 2588. Tanghua smiled. Now my mother can finally be at ease. After saying that, she nodded to the Yun family and turned to leave. She only had one purpose for coming back, which was to shed all pretense of cordiality with Tang Liming. Seeing Duan Yuhong squatting in jail, she was especially satisfied. Then she only needed to do one thing: shoot a film and win an award. She made a promise in her heart. The Best Actress award that had been snatched away was the only award that had been snatched away. No one would have this opportunity again in the future. Moreover, she would not go to the domestic film festival that she had attended last time. If it was the television festival, she could still go. Is it done? Tanghua walked out of the police station. Rong Su was already waiting outside. Brother Rong, why are you here? I heard from the assistant that you went back to your hometown in a hurry. I was worried, so I followed you. Let's go. I asked someone to fly a plane here. Is there anything else? No. Rong Su held Tanghua's hand and brought her into the car. I heard that something happened to Duan Yuhong? Yes, what she did was exposed. Back then, Uni and I were swapped and she was the one who did it. Now that she has been sent to prison by the Yun family, Tang Liming still wants me to plead for her. How stupid. Yes, how stupid. He thinks that our Xiaogua is easy to bully. In the end, Duan Yuhong was sentenced to prison. Because of the Yun family's interference, her sentence was more severe. Tang Liming called Tanghua and even Tang Wen came to look for her, but she rejected them all. What a joke. How could she help Duan Yuhong, the murderer who indirectly caused her mother's death? She should just stay in prison and reflect. Back at the headquarters, Tanghua discussed the script with Randao every day. At this time, Tanghua also received good news. Tang Lin had been brought by his teacher, who was also a diplomat. Basically, every time this diplomat appeared, Tang Lin would be by his side. This made Tanghua very gratified. Every time she received a call from Tang Lin, he would tell her about how he had recently gained some knowledge, who he had met, and what opinions he had on certain issues. In the end, Tang Lin would always ask when she would marry Rong Su, which made her suspect that Rong Su had bribed this kid. Previously he was still calling him old gum, but now he was calling him brother-in-law. Not long after, she received good news from Cui Taixin. Cui Taixin's performance was too outstanding, especially his talent in business. He completely surpassed Cui Bing. This caused Cui Bing, who originally had the upper hand, to slowly fall into a disadvantageous position. Moreover, Cui Taixin's father wasn't really lovey-dovey. Even if he liked Cui Bing's mother very much, it was impossible for him to give up such an excellent son for Cui Bing. Of course, the main reason was that Cui Taixin had Rong Su behind him. Rong Su wasn't married yet and he didn't have any siblings. His parents were both dead and he took good care of Cui Taixin. Due to various considerations, in the end, Cui Taixin's father was biased towards him. Cui Bing, who was suppressed by Cui Taixin, didn't have such an easy time. "Auntie, although my cheap father values me a lot more now, I still like your place." Cui Taixin wolfed down his food. "And here, I can enjoy the food that uncle has never specially made for me. I can eat my fill every time." After saying that, he burped. "Awesome. Tang Lin probably won't be able to enjoy it." Chapter 2589. Rong Su came out of the kitchen and said, "He can't eat the food I made, but he's probably with his teacher and is enjoying the food made by the national banquet chef." As soon as he said that, Cui Taixin's face fell. "I suddenly realized that among us, I'm still the worst. Now there's still my father above me. Tang Lin is the last disciple of the diplomat. Not to mention my uncle, my aunt is also an international celebrity. No, I have to work hard too." That day, Cui Taixin didn't stay and went back to work. "Young Master Cui, I recently received news that Cui Bing is approaching the daughter of the Yun family." "Yun family?" Cui Taixin frowned. "Which daughter of the Yun family?" "Oh, it's the daughter of the Yun family in the entertainment industry, Yun Yi. The one who won the Best Actress award." "Bah, she's not the best actress." Cui Taixin remembered. "You said Cui Bing is deliberately approaching her?" "That's right. Cui Bing probably wants to use the Yun family to deal with you. You have to be careful. By the way, should we cause some damage?" Cui Taixin rolled his eyes. "Wait for a while. I'll call you later. Don't worry for now." After hanging up the phone, Cui Taixin opened the chat interface and sent a long message to Tang Lin. Tang Lin was full of evil tricks. Moreover, they had long disliked the Yun family for bullying others. Cui Bing wanted to use the Yun family to deal with him. If the Yun family made a move, then he could take the opportunity to trick them and teach them a lesson. It was better to ask Tang Lin about this kind of bad thing. That kid had more ideas than him. At this time, the Yun family heard that Ran Shu was preparing a second Interstellar movie. It was said that the script had been set and he was going to choose the actors. Many people were staring at Ran Shu, and Yun Zishan was no exception. Therefore, he didn't hesitate and directly went to Ran Shu. "Director Ran, I won't say anything else. I plan to choose the female lead for this movie. You should know my Xiaoyi. In terms of acting, there's absolutely no problem. If Director Ran doesn't believe me, Xiaoyi can go through the process and audition directly. If you like her, then use her. How about it?" Although in addition to Ran Shu's movie, he also liked 2 other movies. But after thinking about it, he still thought that Ran Shu's Interstellar movie was the best. Judging from the response last time, it would definitely not be too bad this time. If Xiaoyi acted in this movie, she would be able to jump onto the international stage. Even though he knew in his heart that Ran Shu's choice was still Tanghua, it wasn't as if such things didn't happen in the industry. Whoever could get the role would depend on who had the capital and means. Ran Shu was speechless. This Yun family was really annoying. If it wasn't for his confidence, he might have really been threatened by the other party. Now he was not afraid. With just Rong Su, the Yun family could not touch him in Tanghua. "President Yun, I'm sorry, but the female lead for this drama has already been decided." Yun Zishan's face was a little unhappy. "Is it Tanghua?" "Yes, it's still her. She's the only candidate for the best female lead for this movie. No one else is good enough. Director Ran, as long as you agree to give the female lead role to Xiaoyi, I can invest in this movie. I'll invest as much as you need." Ran Shu, he's not short of money. He could even invest in it himself. Xiao Tang was not short of money either. She also had a very rich prospective husband and a rich prospective nephew. They had all planned that this time, they would pull a few familiar people to eat this pie together. The others couldn't even invest if they wanted to. This Yun Zishan actually wanted to share their pie. dream on. Besides, he had several big shots behind him, and there was also Rong Su, the father of the cinema chain. He must have been out of his mind to agree to Yun Zishan. Chapter 2590. President Yun, no matter how much you invest, I won't change the decision that the female lead is Tanghua. This role can only be played by her. No one else can do it. What benefits did the Rong Corporation give you? Just like last time when the movie is released, the Rong Corporation cinema has more than 80% of the showtimes? Yun Zishan was a little angry from embarrassment. The things that had happened recently made him feel that he had been hindered by many things. It was no longer as smooth as before. In the past, no matter where he went, whether it was his face or the Yun family's face, it was very useful. He didn't know what had happened in the past 2 years. No matter what he did, nothing went smoothly. Not to mention that Father Yun and Mother Yun were unhappy, he was also unhappy. It seemed that no matter what he did, he could not achieve his goal. Instead, he would be suppressed by others. Now that he couldn't even get a mere movie script, Yun Zishan couldn't help but feel flustered and exasperated. He no longer had the strategy he used to have. Ranshu didn't care about Yun Zishan's attitude. Yun Zishan had a high start. Since he had been in this industry with the support of the Yun family, his own ability and luck, he had always been smooth sailing. He wasn't like some people who were used to ups and downs. It was inevitable that Yun Zishan would be anxious when he encountered a slight setback. After all, he was still young and impetuous. At least it's more tempting than what President Yun gave me. Ranshu had no intention of explaining at all. Since Yun Zishan had already made up his mind, he might as well make this matter a reality. It was a fact that the Rong Corporation had given him a lot of support. Is there really no room for negotiation? Yun Zishan looked at Ranshu's smiling face and immediately calmed down. Director Ran, you shouldn't be shooting more than this movie, right? We have a chance to work together for a long time. It would be my honor to work with President Yun one day. However, President Yun's request for me to change the female lead is indeed something I can't do. Unfortunately, let's work together next time. How could Yun Zishan not tell that Ranshu was not afraid of him? Could it be that the other party had really signed a contract with the Rong Corporation? After so long, he knew the relationship between Tanghua and Rong Su. Therefore, he guessed that Tanghua was able to get the role because of Rong Su's face. Although the Rong family was powerful, their base camp was not in this city. In this city, only the Yun family and the Chui family were more powerful. Therefore, he was not afraid of Rong Su. But he never thought that Tanghua would be able to curry favor with the head of the Rong family. Yes, in his heart, Tanghua was able to get to where she was today because of Rong Su's support. Even the first Interstellar movie was supported by Rong Su. Unable to reach an agreement, Yun Zishan and Ranshu bid farewell and left. Not long after, Tanghua received a call from Ranshu. Yun Zishan came to look for me. It seems like he wants to give the female lead role to Yun Yi at all costs. Ranshu said calmly, Xiaotang, be careful. He mentioned the Rong Corporation today, so he probably knows about your relationship with President Rong. He thinks that you relied on President Rong to get to where you are now, so he will use this to make an issue out of it. Ranshu more or less knew about the matter between Tanghua and the Yun family. The matter of Yun Yi's identity had been so big that the entire internet knew that Tanghua had been raised by the Yun family for 16 years. Chapter 2591. Previously, the Yun family had gone overboard, causing the netizens to stand on Tanghua's side. However, Yun Zishan was a person with some tricks up his sleeve. He was afraid that Tanghua would suffer in public opinion. Got it, Director Ran. You don't have to worry about this. Just focus on preparing for the new movie. Okay, then I'll start selecting actors. Come over when you're free. Okay. When Yun Zishan returned home, Father Yun and Mother Yun asked him about helping Yun Yi get a certain role. Yun Zishan shook his head dejectedly. Ranshu didn't agree. What's going on? Father Yun was puzzled. Even with our Yun family's investment, the other party didn't agree? Many directors wanted the Yun family to invest, but it was impossible. Yun Zishan sat on the sofa and leaned against it gently. No matter what I said, he didn't agree. He was silent for a moment before continuing. I guess the Rong Corporation promised him something. Just the promise of the Rong Corporation, which accounts for nearly 30% of the country's cinema chains, is enough to make him bow down. Mother Yun frowned. How is it related to the Rong Corporation? The Rong Corporation's hands are so long that they've reached out to us? Could it be that the Rong Corporation is planning to enter the city? No. Yun Zishan shook his head. Do you still remember the man who was with Xiaogua? He's the head of the Rong Corporation, Rong Su. Similarly, he's also Xiaoguo's boyfriend. According to the information I received, they've been dating for many years. They've known each other since Xiaoguo was sent back to the county. It's actually that man? When they met at the restaurant, they didn't notice Rong Su's appearance. Rong Su rarely appeared in public and basically didn't have any interactions with the Yun family, so naturally they didn't know him. They had never taken the initiative to pay attention to Tanggua's news for Yun Yi. Otherwise they wouldn't have neglected this point. So, her smooth sailing in this industry has something to do with Rong Su? Mother Yun suddenly understood. No wonder she's never looked for us all these years. So she's already found a backer. Zishan, do you mean that Ran Shu didn't agree because of the Rong Corporation? Father Yun asked. Yun Zishan nodded. That should be the case. If we can't get this script, can we pick another one? Our country is so big and there are so many talented people. It can't be that we can't get a good script, right? Mother Yun was a little unwilling. Yun Zishan sighed, there's a lot of good scripts but there's still something missing. Ran Shu has been preparing for his second interstellar movie for so many years. In addition, he has a group of old fans and fans in his country and all over the world. Therefore, no one can compare to Ran Shu's script. Yun Zishan shook his head, indicating that he didn't. Ran Shu did not agree and he did not lack investment. No one could do anything. The Yun family didn't run a cinema chain, so they couldn't restrict Ran Shu. Then Zishan, do you have any ideas? I think this time we should avoid the brunt of it and choose a TV script for Xiaoyi. To be. Chapter 2592. Yun Zishan had slowly calmed down. He couldn't fight head-on at this time. He was too anxious and impulsive before. Okay, do as you see fit. Whether it was Father Yun or Mother Yun, neither of them planned to look for Tanggua. For the female lead role, they couldn't swallow their pride and go to Tanggua. That would be too embarrassing. If they had the ability to get it, it would be best. They had no choice but to avoid it, as Yun Zishan had said. After so many things had happened, the two of them changed their previous comfortable state and fully understood the situation in the industry. They realized that it was more complicated than they thought. They had the capital and could cover the sky with one hand sometimes, but if they met a tough nut like the Rong Corporation, they couldn't do anything. Recently, the Yun family had chosen a good TV script for Yun Yi to avoid Tanggua's sharp edge. Ran Shu thought that there would be some trouble, but he didn't expect the Yun family to not be as impulsive as before. It was most likely that they had suffered a loss and didn't want to go against the Rong Corporation. Xiaoyi, this TV series is not bad. Well, when there is a suitable script, I will find it for you. Yun Yi flipped through the script and nodded. Suddenly she asked, didn't you say that you went to contact Director Ran? You didn't agree? Director Ran didn't want to change. I see. Yun Yi didn't say anything more. Actually, he did the right thing. It's not good to change anyone at this time. Unless it's absolutely necessary, it's best to have the original cast. Xiaoyi, don't be sad. If the Rong Corporation hadn't intervened this time, I would have been able to help you get this role. Rong Corporation? Yun Zishan explained and Yun Yi understood. Second brother, do you mean that the Rong Corporation has been supporting her all this time? Something like that. But she's still good. Yun Yi lowered her head and flipped through the script. Second brother, I will work hard. Xiaoyi, you don't have to always force yourself. Yun Yi was silent for a while. Second brother, don't you think that she is very outstanding? Even if the Rong group supports her, she's better than me in every aspect. That's what everyone says. Xiaoyi also has our support, but I can't compare to her. Yun Zishan furrowed his brows. Even so, in our hearts, Xiaoyi is still the most outstanding. Yun Yi lowered her eyes. Now that everyone knows about our relationship, they're comparing me to her. She even said that you were heartless and cold. She was such an outstanding adopted daughter, but you didn't care about her at all. For me, you did everything you could to snatch everything from her. Because Xiaoyi deserves it. Alright, don't overthink it. In our family, Xiaoyi is the most important. Everyone else has nothing to do with us. Second brother, don't steal her things for me in the future. Xiaoyi, Yun Yi put down the script and looked up. I'm sorry, second brother. Silly girl, what are you talking about? Although I really want to surpass her, I can't. I want to let everyone know that I'm better than her. I want you to be proud of me. I want you to feel that biological children are indeed biological children. People who are not related by blood cannot compare to me. In fact, I even intentionally or unintentionally led all of you to remove all obstacles for me and make full use of the Yin family's resources. Every time I remain silent, it means that I tacitly agree with your actions. My goal is very simple. I don't want you to get close to her and think that she is good. Chapter 2593. In fact, I've fantasized countless times in my head about surpassing her and standing on the podium with the trophy in my hands, looking down at her from above. Yuni smiled faintly. Imagining things really makes one feel good. Also, I want her to understand that a real daughter of the Yun family should be like me. Xiaoyi, second brother, let me finish. There are some things that I've wanted to say for a long time. Last time Mom and Dad organized the Best Actress award for me. Although I was very surprised, I was secretly happy when I held the trophy. Of course, I was more nervous because I knew that the trophy didn't belong to me. When I saw her with a smile on her face, sitting below the stage nonchalantly talking to people, I understood. Yuni gently pursed her lips. Whether or not I surpass her in the future, I'm afraid that she won't even look at me. Second brother, she has never cared about us. I know that she has been in contact with you for a few years. It wasn't until she bumped into you at the restaurant that she stopped contacting you. Yuni clenched her fists. To be honest, my sudden return was not a coincidence or an accident. One of my helpers at home informed me that you were going to have a meal with her, so I hurried back to stop everything. I even suggested that we go to that restaurant for a meal on purpose. At that time I was thinking, what if we really ran into each other? We really did run into each other. I thought the same. She was so proud that she stopped contacting you and stopped texting you. You were embarrassed and didn't miss this human anymore. Xiaoyi, why did you suddenly say so much? Because I suddenly understood. If you cared so much about me, why did I have to use all my means to scheme? This isn't family Tang. I don't have to swallow my pride. You are my family and I've been using you all this time. Some tears fell from Yunyi's eyes. The person who caused all of this is Duan Yuhong. She has already been sent to prison. If you want to say who owes me, it can only be Duan Yuhong. Tangwa doesn't owe me or our family anything. What made me understand was that Mom and Dad seemed to have gone crazy for me. They wanted to snatch everything from me. Second brother, who was extremely smart, also made a mistake and did many irrational things. The only one in the family who can be considered calm is third brother. Now, because of me, third brother is almost at odds with you. I'm really afraid that if this continues, one day this place where I finally found warmth will be destroyed again. Second brother, promise me that you won't use the Yun family's resources for me in the future. Whether it's Tangguo or anyone else, don't steal their things. Yun Zishan sighed and nodded. Alright, second brother won't do it anymore. Host, I've discovered that Yun Zishan's PR team, which was originally prepared to do something to you, has now completely withdrawn. He stopped. Well, I don't know why. Got it? A few days later, Tangguo joined the crew for filming. After a while, Yuni also joined the crew. By the time Tangguo finished filming, a year had already passed. Chapter 2594. After coming out, she heard about Yun Yi's engagement. The person she was engaged to was still Cui Bing. She actually didn't know if Cui Bing was considered the male lead. If he wasn't, he was Yun Yi's husband in the plot. If he was, he didn't appear many times. Why don't we get engaged too? Rong Su couldn't hold it in anymore. All these years he was anxious as he watched people get engaged and get married one by one. Tangguo pursed her lips and smiled. You wish. There's no proposal ceremony and you still want to get engaged? What Tangguo didn't expect was that Rong Su immediately asked someone to prepare a proposal ceremony. Looking at the balloons floating outside, she smiled faintly. Brother Rong, so you're already prepared? Yes, I've been preparing. I don't know how many times I've rehearsed it in my heart. Regarding Tangguo's engagement, although it caused a huge wave on the internet, because she had never hidden Rong Su's existence. Everyone knew that she had a boyfriend, so the fans accepted it very well. When they found out Rong Su's identity, they were shocked. The following time was the special effects production time for Tangguo's second interstellar movie. Coincidentally, the TV series that Yuni took on was also very good. It needed some time to perfect the special effects. However, this time Yun Zishan wasn't worried. Even if they bumped into each other, it wouldn't affect them. Sure enough, the time when Tangguo's movie was released was about the time when Yun Yi's TV series was released. But before that, something happened. Yun Yi's unmarried man had an affair and was caught red-handed. It was even broadcasted live on the internet. This kind of ugly news shocked the entire internet. Of course, what was even more shocking was that in the live broadcast, when the woman was being beaten up, she shouted, "I'm innocent. I don't know why I'm in this place. I remember that I was with Sister Xiaoguo before. Later I got drunk and woke up in this place." This woman was Tang Wen. If you don't believe me, you can check the surveillance cameras. Now that my innocence has been ruined, how can I live? Then the news that Tang Guo framed her half-sister and Yun Yi, who were unmarried, quickly became a trending topic. After the Yun family watched the video, they were furious. When Cui Bing saw Yun Yi, he also had a face full of self-blame. He knelt on the ground and kept slapping himself, saying that he was really framed and hoped to get Yun Yi's forgiveness. Tang Wen, on the other hand, was sitting at the side with a pale and innocent face. At this time, Tang Guo was on her way to the Yun family. It was Rong Su who accompanied her. When they arrived at the Yun family stared at her. He looked as if he wouldn't let her off if she didn't give him an explanation. Why are you doing this? Mother Yun was the first to break down. With a pained expression, she asked, "What has our Xiaoyi done to you?" Chapter 2595. Tang Guo, you're still playing dumb. We've already seen the surveillance footage. Everything you did was clearly recorded. Tang Wen said with a ferocious expression. You still refuse to admit it? Show her the surveillance footage. See if it's like what I said. The person who played the surveillance footage was Yun Zishan. When Tang Guo's figure appeared in the surveillance footage of the restaurant, Tang Guo was also very surprised. Rong Su was also very surprised. He saw that Tang Guo was indeed eating with Tang Wen, and then Tang Wen was drunk. Yun Zishan played the second surveillance footage. It was the footage of Tang Guo sending Tang Wen to the hotel room, the room where the adulterers were caught. The Yun family looked at the surveillance footage and then looked at Tang Guo with a strange expression. Yun Zishan was the one who didn't believe her the most. He had always believed in her, but he really didn't expect her to do such a thing. Could it be that Xiao Guo really resented them in her heart? It wasn't easy for Xiao Yi to let go of the previous matter. Why was Xiao Guo? Now that the evidence is in front of you, what else do you want to say? Father Yun said coldly. I really misjudged you. I didn't expect you to be such a person. Xiao Yi didn't even care about those things with you, but you still want to frame her. Yun Yi was silent for a while before saying, I didn't expect it to be you. I thought, Xiao Yi, now you should understand that not everyone thinks the same as you, right? She's not a simple person to be able to stand firmly in this circle, Yun Zishan said. Mother Yun was a little sad. If you have resentment, just come at our Yun family. Why do you have to frame Xiao Yi? Even if Cui Bing was innocent, they wouldn't allow Xiao Yi to be with this man. Even if they were willing, Xiao Yi would still have a knot in her heart when such a thing happened. Why did you do this? Just to vent your anger? Tang Wen's face was pale. You just transferred your hatred for my mother to me. I didn't do this, Tang Guo said calmly. At the same time, her gaze swept across everyone present. Indeed, this matter was strange. She had felt that something was wrong before. Who was the problem? Host, I didn't detect any strange soul fluctuations. Forget it. Let's leave for today. Dear host, now the entire internet is slandering you. They're all saying that your public persona has collapsed. If it collapses, so be it. It's not important. She was still confused. This happened too suddenly, but to her it really wasn't that important. Who was that person? Her gaze swept across the Yun family, but she still couldn't come to a conclusion. Even the system couldn't detect any soul fluctuations. It seemed like she could only rely on herself. From now on, all ties between us are severed. Mother Yun said coldly, you hurt Xiaoyi like this. This matter isn't over yet. There's a place for the Yun family, but there's no place for you. No one in the Yun family objected to Mother Yun's words. Tang Guo subconsciously glanced at Yun Zishu. Yun Zishu opened his mouth, wanting to explain himself, but the surveillance cameras clearly recorded everything, so he couldn't defend her. It's up to you, but I didn't do it. I will reveal the truth, not for you but for my innocence. Tang Guo agreed and left with Rong Su. Xiao Guo, why didn't you just now? Brother Rong, this matter isn't that simple. Give me some time. Okay, your third brother doesn't believe you. Tang Guo looked up and smiled. The surveillance cameras are too realistic. Who would believe it? Me? Rong Su revealed a bright smile and held her hand. I believe you because I know you very well. You're not such a person. Sometimes the eyes can lie. System, and him. Chapter 2596. Right after Tang Guo left the Yun family, a video was exposed on the internet. The video was of Tang Guan and Tang Wen having a meal together, and Tang Wen being sent to the hotel after getting drunk. Those who had vowed to believe in Tang Guo on the internet were speechless. Even Tang Guo's fans were silent at this moment. Just as Tang Guo had said, the video was too realistic. She had been captured clearly, and there was no way she could deny it. It was said that the person who leaked the video was the hotel staff and the restaurant's employees. Not long after the incident, both parties said that they had fired the staff. Dear host, this was done by the Yun family. Saying that it was a staff member who leaked the video was just an excuse. Got it? Tangwa saw that the entire internet was scolding her for being a Black Lotus, but she wasn't angry. No matter how unimportant people slandered her, she wouldn't care at all. Among the fans who liked her, there seemed to be quite a few who had left her. This made her feel a little regretful. Dear host, don't be sad. You still have a lot of diehard fans. They say that they don't care but they still like you. Moreover, they say that the two videos can't prove anything. There are too many things that can be manipulated. Now they are waiting for you to explain it personally. Tangwa glanced at them and smiled. I have quite a lot of diehard fans. Oh right, dear host, you asked me to keep an eye on the Yun family. I realized that my signal seems to have been disrupted by something, so I can't monitor their every move. Tangwa was surprised. Is everyone in the Yun family like this? Yes, everyone is like this. Once I catch their traces, I will be disrupted. The system said seriously, Dear host, I suspect that the person who did this is related to the outside world. I have contacted 3 1s and 3 2s about this. They said that the Yun family should have a system disruptor on them. The person who researched this should be their opponent from the Space Administration. If that's the case, the person who harmed me is actually their opponent? What's their motive? Those 2 guys said that their space administration was an existence that maintained the balance of time and space, while their opponent was an existence that destroyed time and space. They used special means to steal the power of the world. If that's the case, then the person in the video who looks exactly like you should be the result of their research, right? I don't know if she had plastic surgery to look like me, or if she had copied my appearance. There are no special powers in this world. The only thing they can use is this kind of advanced technology. Dear host, your movie will be released in a week's time. Because of what happened today, not many people are buying tickets now. The entire internet is boycotting you. During this conversation, Tangwa scrolled through her phone and realized that there seemed to be an invisible hand pushing this matter to the peak. There was no need to guess that the person who did this was from the Yun family. Earlier, they had said that they wouldn't let her have a good time, and she felt a little regretful about it. Xiaogua, when can I make a move? Rong-su saw that things were getting more and more wrong. Even though he knew that Tangwa was innocent and that she could prove her innocence as long as she wanted to, she kept holding him down and not letting him move. Seeing countless people scold and slander her, he felt terrible. He really couldn't bear to see her being surrounded by everyone and slandering her. Chapter 2597. Lin Lin and Tai Xian just called to ask about it. I told them about the situation and they said that if you don't deal with it, they will come. Tangwa smiled. Brother Rong helped me reply to them. Listen to me and don't do anything for the time being. Let them slander us. It'll help us promote the movie. You're really able to sit still. At this moment, Tangwa received a call from Yun Zishu. Brother Rong. Xiaogua, why did you do that? Yun Zishu's voice was a little sad. Tangwa smiled. Brother Rong, do you think I did it? Yun Zishu was silent for a moment. I don't want to believe it, but the video? I asked someone to check it. The video was not edited. They also pulled out videos from other angles. You and Tangwan were also there. Xiaogua, all the evidence points to. So, did you really do this because you hate us? Brother Rong, since you've already confirmed it, why are you still asking me? I don't want to believe it, so I'm asking you. I want to hear your answer. My answer is that I didn't do that. Would you believe me? Yun Zishu was silent for a minute. In the end, he did not say a word. He said goodbye to Tangwa and hung up. Your brother still doesn't believe you. Rong-su took the opportunity to hold Tangwa's hand. He looked a little proud. Now you know that Brother Rong is the best, right? Tangwa smiled and nodded. Yes, Brother Rong is the best. Regardless of whether Brother Rong believes me or not, in my heart, Brother Rong is the best. Rong-su liked to hear this, but he still wanted to solve the problem. Brother Rong, I have something to do now. What are you going to do? Meet the Yun family again. This time she met them one by one. First she met Yun-yi, then the rest of the Yun family. Tangwa arranged to meet Yun-yi at noon the next day. As Tangwa expected, Yun-yi did not come alone. Yun Zishan accompanied her. Do you have something to say to me? Yun-yi sat in front of Tangwa and looked up at her. I thought I was relieved. I didn't expect you to hate me and use this method to deal with my fiancé. Tongzi, they are right in front of you. Can you capture them? Dear host, I can't. Something is still interfering with my signal. Alright, got it. I came to see you because I didn't do such a thing, Tangwa said with a faint smile on her face. As she spoke, she had already examined every detail of Yun-Yi and Yun Zishan. Do you believe me? Yun-Yi looked at Tangwa strangely and finally shook her head with a smile. I used to think that you were someone who didn't care about anything. Later I found out that you just didn't act up. How do you expect me to believe you in the face of evidence? President Yun, do you trust me? Yun Zishan smiled faintly and shook his head. His fingers tapped on the table as he gently raised his eyes. You've harmed Xiaoyi so much. How can I still believe you? But I really didn't do it. If you're just meeting Xiaoyi to talk about this, then we're leaving. Don't think about using Xiaoyi to do anything. Yun Zishan sneered at Tangwa. I know that your movie will be released in a week. Right now, I really want to suppress this matter. Otherwise, no matter how good the movie is, the netizens will boycott it. Chapter 2598. In the end, Yun Zishan pulled Yun-Yi away. Dear host, did you see anything? No, they have too many items on them. I can't tell. The system was a little anxious. What should I do? Let's meet them one by one. After that, Tangwa met with the other members of the Yun family. Because they had too many items on them, she couldn't tell the existence of the interference device. 2 more days passed. Not only did the matter of Tangwa harming Yun-Yi not subside, but under the Yun family's influence, it became more and more intense. Tangwa's fans lost their fans very seriously, and there were many who stepped back. However, she seemed to have disappeared and didn't respond at all. Everyone thought that she was lying flat and being ridiculed. That night, Tangwa woke up and was about to do something when Rong-su opened his eyes and grabbed her hand. Xiaoguo, what are you doing sneaking around? Brother Rong, you didn't sleep? Tangwa turned around and asked in surprise. Rong-su's expression was strange. So many things have happened. If you don't want me to solve it, how can I sleep? Tangwa looked at the green under Rong-su's eyes. It really didn't look like he slept well. It'll be over soon. I'm going to do something. What are you going to do in the middle of the night? Of course it's something that can't be seen in the light. Tangwa smiled and took out her tools out of thin air, causing Rong-su to be shocked. Are you afraid? I can make things out of thin air. Rong-su came back to his senses and held her hand tightly. Xiaoguo, will you return to the immortal world in the future? Can you bring me along? System, ha. Okay. Tangwa suddenly disappeared in front of Rong-su. Rong-su was very shocked. Even if he believed her in his heart, he was really afraid that she wouldn't come back. He waited in the room and stared at the spot where she disappeared. Late at night, there was a knock on Yun Zimo's room. He opened the door and saw Yun-Yi outside. He frowned. It's so late. Is there anything else? Let's go in first. Yun Zimo looked outside and let her in. He casually leaned on the sofa and glanced at Yun-Yi, who was sitting on the other side. What's the matter? Is that really enough? Yun-Yi looked up and said worriedly, you know that she's not simple. I'm worried. What are you worried about? She can't find any evidence. The truth is right in front of everyone. Look at the people in your Yun family who love you. Aren't they constantly stepping on her? Yun Zimo had an evil smile on his face. After this, the entire entertainment industry will be yours. She won't be able to stop you. You don't have to worry about the Yun family being nostalgic about her. Look, even Yun Zishu doesn't believe in her anymore. After Yun Zimo finished speaking, Yun-Yi, who was in front of him, revealed a smile. He felt that there was something wrong with this smile. If that's the case, then I'm relieved. Yun-Yi suddenly walked in front of Yun Zimo and looked up at him with a faint smile. Just as he felt that something was wrong, a slender hand had already squeezed his neck. Who are you? You're not Yun-Yi. How did you find out? And why did you? Yun Zimo was a little frightened. He wanted to break free, but he found that this woman was very strong. She didn't let go of his neck at all. He felt that he was going to suffocate. Before he could finish speaking, he felt that his mental strength was restrained. He couldn't even take the opportunity to escape. Chapter 2599. Looking at the person in front of him who looked exactly like Yun-Yi, he looked defeated. What do you want to do? Do you want to die? Who wants to die? Who sent you to harm me? Yun Zimo did not answer. Instead, he asked, how did you find out that I'm not Yun Zimo? I don't think there are any loopholes in my disguise. Yun Zimo was not satisfied. He had disguised himself so perfectly and even used a jammer. After all, he had interacted with the other family before. Perhaps he had that annoying system on him. Unexpectedly, he was still found out. Looks like you weren't sent by that person. He shouldn't be coming out so soon. So you should be the one who destroyed time and space and stole the world's fate? Let me guess. You helped Yun-Yi to send her to the peak of her life and use her as a medium to steal the power of fate? The person pretending to be Yun-Yi was Tanghua. Pretending to be another person wasn't only possible, she could also do it. Was the art of disguise that he had learned just for show? Yun Zimo's expression changed. How do you know so much? I'm still curious. How did you find out that I'm not Yun Zimo? Tanghua smiled faintly. I remember. I just had a cold. You were the one who brought me to do a blood test. Yun Zimo's expression changed. Tanghua continued, at that time, Yun Zimo was no longer Yun Zimo. Yes, the Yun family found out that Tanghua was not their biological daughter. It was from a physical examination. The original owner of the body had been in good health since young. It was just a small cold. She would be fine after taking some medicine. Yun Zimo insisted on taking her to the hospital for a blood test. This blood test naturally found that the blood type was different. Hence, a paternity test was done. Then the Yun family found Yun-Yi very quickly. This time it was really too smooth. As for why this person did not directly send the original owner to the peak, it was because the original owner was almost perfect except for being a little arrogant. Without personality flaws, she would not be used by him at all. Instead, she would be found out that something was wrong. Yun-Yi was the biological daughter of the Yun family. She had suffered since young and had a huge personality flaw. Hence, she desired better things. These people liked to steal the world's luck, so it would be much easier for Yun-Yi to start her counterattack from the outside. Yun-Yi, who had been bullied in the past, would definitely agree without hesitation when she saw such hope. She had always doubted that it was impossible for Yun-Yi to become so calm in such a short time under the influence of Duan Yuhong and Tang Liming. After all, Yun-Yi was already 16 when she returned to the Yun family. Since you already know, then I have nothing else to say. I've calculated everything, but I really didn't expect that the real Tanghua would also disappear and become you. You shouldn't be from that side. Otherwise, you would definitely kill me at this time. How about this, let's make a deal. If you let me go, I'll clear your name. Are you qualified to make a deal with me? Tanghua looked at him with contempt. You're a loser. What you need to do now is to cooperate with me and prove my innocence. If you don't do it, I'll make you disappear completely. Since that's the case, don't even think about having an easy time. Do you think that without you, I won't be able to prove my innocence? Seeing how calm Tanghua was, Yun Zimo was a little uncertain. This woman was indeed too calm. Do you know where I went that day? Tanghua did not stop and continued, it was my younger brother's teacher's birthday. He invited me to his birthday banquet. Chapter 2600. Do you know who my brother is? Isn't it that kid Tang Lin? Yes, he's Tang Lin, but his teacher is an outstanding diplomat. What kind of people do you think attended his birthday banquet that day? At that venue, not only was there comprehensive surveillance, but even every door needed to be verified. Do you think that the video from the hotel and restaurant is more trustworthy, or do you think that I, who appeared at this diplomat's birthday banquet, is more trustworthy? This time, Yun Zimo was really speechless. Put on a good show with me. I promise that I'll kill you and spare your dog life. If you don't agree, then I'll crush you. Anyway, I can prove my innocence. Okay, I agree. At this moment, he had lost any right to negotiate. He really did not know where this woman came from. When he returned, he would definitely report it to the higher-ups. If he could not rope her in, he would kill her so that she would not be discovered and recruited by the other party. In the middle of the night, a video suddenly appeared on all the major social media platforms. The netizens who were bored and browsing the internet opened the video and their eyes widened. Fuck, what kind of peerless melon is this? There were two people in the video. One of them was very familiar. Who was that face, Yun-Yi? Although the other face was much stranger, many people still recognized it. It was actually Yun Zimo of the Yun family. Under their eyes, the woman said to Yun Zimo, "Big brother, the disguise technique you hired someone to teach me is really useful. Everyone was fooled by me." Then the woman started to change her appearance bit by bit. Her original face actually became Tanghua's. Even her expression and actions were exactly the same as Tanghua's. A smile appeared on her lips. Now she can't wash her innocence. Although the video was very short and there were not many words, many netizens understood something. You're really ruthless. Yun Zimo's expression changed. With just a short video, Yun Zimo, Yun-Yi, and the Yun family can forget about making a comeback. Isn't it all because of the sins you brought upon yourselves? You provoked me. Now you should let me go, right? I only said that I wouldn't kill you. I didn't say that I would let you go. After speaking, Tangwa suddenly asked, "Where's the real Yun Zimo? In my body I've always been suppressed." Then I'm relieved. You, under the pained expression of Yun Zimo, Tangwa extracted his mental strength. Tongzi, send a message to the 3 ones. Tell them that I've caught someone from their enemy's family. I don't know when we'll be able to meet them, or ask them to think of a way to get it. Ask my fake brother if he wants to bring it back for research. I'll keep it for him. Okay, Madam Host. Tangwa squatted down and checked on Yun Zimo. She found that he was indeed still alive. However, his mental strength had been suppressed for many years and she did not know if he could wake up. Then, she put on the invisibility cloak and used the teleportation talisman to teleport away. Before she left, she even made the system block the Yun family's phone and internet signals. As for what they would do when they woke up tomorrow morning, she did not know. The moment she appeared in the room, Rong Su hugged her tightly and kissed her cheek. So my Xiaogua is a fairy? Then you have to treat me better. Otherwise I'll fly away. Chapter 2601. Rong Su had already seen the video on the internet. In fact, as soon as it appeared, his subordinates called him to report the news. Xiaogua, I asked them to take action just now. That video should be made by you, right? The person in the video is you, right? Although it's perfect and I can't see any flaws, my intuition tells me that it's you. It's me? Brother Rong, I'm tired. Let's sleep. Okay, go to sleep. The system looked at the starry sky outside. Was she going to sleep just like that? Host, do you know how big of a thing you've done? A video made everyone on the internet lose their sleepiness. When she woke up, Tangwa turned on her phone and found that not only was there a hot search about the video in the Yun family, but there was also another hot search. She clicked on it and found that it was also a video. This video was actually a video of her attending the birthday banquet of the diplomat. Although many people's faces were mosaicked in the video, only hers and Rong Su's were not. There was also a video of them going through layers of security and fingerprint records. Shaolin was really worried about you this time. Rong Su said. This kid, I really didn't dote on him for nothing. Tangwa smiled with relief. It was useful to have a younger brother. At this time, Tangwa also found that many television stations were actually helping her promote the movie for free. She was even named by the news broadcast. Before it was broadcast, they had already started praising her. Such an honor made Tangwa a little happy. After all, Xiaogua won glory for the country in the last movie. Whether you're good or not, those who see it clearly will naturally know. This movie is definitely at the level of a phenomenon. Our country really hopes for more good works like this to appear. Then I'll film more good works like this in the future and repay them. Tangwa smiled. No matter how much experience she had, who wouldn't like and be unhappy to be liked and acknowledged by others? Compared to the warmth at Tangwa's place, the Yun family's place was gloomy. They couldn't believe that all of this was directed and acted by Yun Yi. But everything in the video was real. Moreover, the place where it was filmed was in Yun Zimo's room. Regardless of who took the video, now that Yun Zimo had fainted for no reason, there was no news from the doctor about when Yun Zimo would wake up. Yun Yi, who had always been indifferent, could no longer remain calm this time. Her face was pale and her eyes were flustered. She opened her mouth to explain that the person in the video was really not her. But the look in the eyes of the Yun family was really too scary. Did you attack Zimo? What did you do to Zimo? Mother Yun looked at Yun Yi with a face full of suspicion. Xiao Yi, I really didn't expect that all of this was part of your scheme. For you, we never took the initiative to contact Tangwa. Why did you do all this? Do you hate us for not finding you earlier? Yun Yi bit her lips and didn't say a word. Tears kept falling from her eyes. Suddenly she said, I just want to surpass her. Don't you always say that I'm outstanding? If I don't surpass her, how can I be considered outstanding? So you used this method to surpass her? Father Yun asked. Yun Yi gritted her teeth. Is big brother he? She wanted to say that all of this was because of Yun Zimo's bewitchment. Otherwise, how would she have the guts to do so? Just because Zimo dotes on you, you got him to help you plan all of this, is that right? Mother Yun was on the verge of breaking down. Of her 3 sons, she actually liked Yun Zimo the most. She had handed all of the responsibilities of the Yun family to Yun Zimo. Chapter 2602. For the sake of Yun Yi, giving up Tangwa was nothing. But now, because of Yun Yi, their Zimo was basically ruined. The Yun family's shares had been falling since last night and were still falling. No, Yuni wanted to explain. It was clearly Yun Zimo who found her first and helped her plan all this. She did not take the initiative at all. Why did they think this way? At this moment, Father Yun received a call from the company. He looked at Yun Yi and hurriedly left with Mother Yun. Because of the clarification of Tanghua on the internet, it was really too shocking. Those who had once scolded Tanghua felt their faces burning. Those who had stopped being fans and stepped on her were also very embarrassed. The person who caused all this was still Yun Yi. So now Yun Yi was being slandered like the bottom of a pot. Now, everyone was boycotting Yun Yi's TV series. Not long after, the director said that the TV series might not be able to be aired as scheduled. The netizens expressed their satisfaction. And ever since that day, Yun Yi did not seem to appear in the eyes of the public. Seeing that countless people were scolding Yun Yi, Tanghua did not feel happy. If she did not have a way to clear her name, she would be the one being scolded like this. Because the previous incident was too big, the whole country knew about this movie. The box office this time was even more than the previous movie. Ran Shu sighed. Fortunately, there is so much evidence to prove your innocence this time. If not, where can I find a female lead in my movie in the future? Yun Zimo had been in a coma. In the middle of it, Yun Zishu came to find Tanghua and apologized to her. Although she did not mean to blame him, Yun Zishu could clearly feel that they could not go back to the past. Xiaoyi has been locking herself in the house every day now. Tanghua asked, "Third brother, why are you telling me this? We will take good care of her and not let her hurt you." Tanghua smiled. Was it Father Yun and Mother Yun? No matter what their motive was, it was too late. Because of this matter, the Yun family's stock fell to the bottom. Because Chui Taixin chased Chui Bing away and completely took control of the Chui family, he began to intentionally or unintentionally target the Yun family. Tang Lin also came up with evil ideas behind the scenes. The Yun family's assets shrank again and again, and they almost didn't have good days. Later on, Yuni stopped acting. She had a gap with her parents, and the warm family she once had became suffocating. Looking at Father Yun and Mother Yun's blaming eyes every day, she couldn't stay in this place any longer. Later on, she carried the drawing board and went out to relax. She went out early in the morning and came back very late at night. Father Yun and Mother Yun were no longer so concerned about her. It was as if they blamed Yun Zimo's accident on her. Especially when she heard that the two of them were even picking out gifts to apologize to Tanghua, her expression became even more gloomy. This day Yuni didn't come back at the same time as usual. The Yun couple didn't look for her either. They thought she was just throwing a tantrum, so they didn't bother. Unexpectedly, the next day they received news that Yuni had been kidnapped. The kidnapper wanted them to pay a ransom of 50 million yuan, or they would kill her. If it was in the past, 50 million yuan was really nothing to the Yun family. They could take it out casually. However, many things had happened recently. If they took out 50 million yuan, wouldn't they be asking for the Yun couple's lives? Therefore they hesitated. In the end, Yuni didn't die. However, her face was slashed and she looked even more gloomy. The Yun couple seemed to feel a little guilty and got someone to investigate who did it. Not long after, Tang Wen and Chui Bing's tendons were severed and they ended up in a miserable state. Chapter 2603. When the Yun family and Yun Yi said that they had already avenged her, it was as if they had regained their previous relationship with her. However, after a while the Yun couple were both imprisoned. It was said that they were guilty of intentional injury. Did Yun Yi report them and break the tendons of Chui Bing and Tang Wen's hands and feet? Rong Su nodded. The last time Yun Yi was kidnapped, it was Chui Bing and Tang Wen. They asked for 50 million, but the Yun couple didn't give it to them. Yun Yi must be holding a grudge. Actually, they didn't have much feelings for each other. Yun Yi's crazy actions angered Yun Zishan. In the end, he sent her to a mental hospital. Only then did the Yun family stop. However, the Yun couple was imprisoned. The evidence was conclusive, and it was at this point so the sentence was rather heavy. Now the Yun family was scattered, injured, imprisoned and even unconscious. Yun Zishan rubbed his messy hair anxiously. Shouldn't we have been so persistent from the beginning and hurt Xiaoguo for her? Yun Zishan glanced at him. Regret? It's useless. Second brother, liquidate your assets and file for bankruptcy. Big brother still needs to continue hospitalization. I'm not cut out for that. I'll owe more and more debts. Got it? After the Yun Corporation declared bankruptcy, Yun Zishan seemed to be unable to survive in the industry. No one was willing to look for him. The artists under him either jumped ship or were put in a difficult position by other artists in the industry. He suddenly remembered that he had offended everyone in this industry for Yun. There was also Chiolage. Some popular actors seemed to be unwilling to take on their roles. They were waiting for Tanggwa. It was good that they wanted to drink a mouthful of soup, so they worked hard to improve their abilities. Only then could they be chosen. Rong Su felt that he was really lucky in this life. He actually managed to coax a fairy into his hands. In the end, the fairy didn't fly away. When she left, she was in his arms. When the fairy closed her eyes, he smiled and hugged her, falling asleep. His body was not bad. Logically speaking, he should be able to live for a long time. It shouldn't be a problem for him to live for 100 years. However, after his fairy left, his life seemed to have come to an end. He didn't have any attachment to this world. Recalling that before his fairy left, she had used all of his savings to buy groceries, he found it funny and asked her why she had bought so many groceries. Helping out some refugees and doing some good deeds will accumulate good fortune for you. You can still be with me in your next life. Do you have any objections? At that time he said, why don't I sell the company and use the money to buy groceries for you to help the refugees? How about that? Leave some for our nephews. We have 2 bachelors in our family. Leave them some money for their retirement. Just like that, they left together. After Tanggwa passed away, many people were very sad. Many TV stations kept replaying the films she had filmed. Watching them made people cry. Tanggwa's fans. They've been fans of a fake actress for their entire lives, but they don't regret it at all. Yun Zimo, who had been lying in the hospital for God knows how many years, woke up on this day. He opened his eyes and saw Yun Zishu sitting by the bed, seemingly watching a movie. His entire body was weak. He opened his mouth and only spoke after a long time. Zishu? Big brother? Yun Zishu walked in front of Yun Zimo and lowered his head. It's been decades. You're finally awake. Big brother, I've always wanted to ask you a question. Why did you help Xiaoi frame Xiaogua like that? Yun Zimo smiled bitterly. If I said I didn't, would you believe me? Yun Zishu suddenly remembered that a long time ago, someone had asked him the same question. At that time he didn't believe it, so he didn't answer. Since Big Brother says you didn't, I believe you. Zishu, I'll tell you in the future. All of this is too ridiculous. Where's Xiaogua? She left many years ago. You see, I'm already old. Chapter 2604. When you see Yen Wei later, don't throw a tantrum with him, understand? No matter what kind of woman is sent to him, she can't compare to you. You just need to perform perfectly and show your kindness and gentleness. Let the other party understand that they can't surpass you, and let Yen Wei understand that you are irreplaceable. This time when Tanggwa woke up, she was in the car again. It was different from the private luxury cars in the previous world. This car was probably a very expensive limousine. She could instantly tell that the Yen Wei the woman next to her was talking about was not a simple person. From the sound of it, their relationship seemed to be somewhat unusual. I've already told you everything that needs to be said. Don't put on airs in front of Yen Wei. Ever since your father passed away, we can only rely on Yen Wei from now on. Luckily your father died for Yen Wei. We can stay by his side for the rest of our lives without any worries. At this point, the woman's voice became softer until it was almost beside Tanggwa's ear. But this is not enough. You have to think of a way to make Yen Wei place you at the top of his heart and become Mrs. Yen. Once you are Mrs. Yan's wife and give birth to an heir for him, no matter how many women he has outside, we won't have to be afraid. Tanggwa's lips twitched, but she did not intend to refute this woman. Mom knows that you actually like Yen Wei. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stood in front of him without hesitation when he was in danger. Isn't that right? Luckily it was only the blanket that time and it was wiped off. If it had hit any other place, that person would not have been useless, especially that face. Alright, that's all you have to say. Don't think about monopolizing Yen Wei. This man is in control of everything. You can't monopolize him alone. Just guard your position as Mrs. Yen. Tanggwa nodded gently and then asked, how much longer until we arrive? See, I knew it. After attending the exhibition, you ignored everything and came straight back when you heard the news. It must be because of that woman who was sent to Yen Wei. Yi Yame smiled. Actually, you don't have to worry. Yen Wei doesn't treat that woman well. I think he brought her back to humiliate the Shi family. For the sake of their company, the Shi family gave their daughter to Yen Wei as a plaything. They probably won't be able to raise their heads in the industry for the rest of their lives. Tanggwa didn't say anything else. It seemed that things were more complicated than she had imagined. She just didn't know what role her character played in it. According to her cheap mother, Yen Wei should have a great background. He was most likely the male lead of this world. And the woman who was sent to his side was probably the female lead. Moreover, there was also a character like her. This should be a story of a sadistic love story. Mom, I want to rest for a while. Alright, there's still an hour before we arrive. It's best if you take a nap and recover your energy before meeting Yen Wei. Yen Wei is not an ordinary man. Don't show your weak and helpless side in front of him. It will annoy him. Tangwa didn't care about Yi Yame's nagging. She leaned to the side and closed her eyes. Dear host, this is another sad story. You have to calm down after reading it. Although the system knew that Tangwa wouldn't get angry easily, it still kindly reminded her. Chapter 2605. Previously, when he came to this world, he had scanned through this story. The tragedy of the original owner of the story could be considered an unexpected disaster. Her existence could be said to be the obstacle, the stepping stone, and the catalyst for the male and female lead. Without her existence, the relationship between the male and female lead might not have improved in the end. Tangwa started to receive the memory with doubts. The male lead of this world was Yen Wei, and the female lead was the woman who was sent to Yen Wei's house. Her name was Shi Shuexin, and she was currently appointed by Yen Wei as a maid in the manor. Her status was very low. At the beginning of the story, Yen Wei's father and Shi Shuexin's father talked about it. It could be said that Yen Wei's father was indirectly killed by Shi Shuexin's father. Shi Shuexin's father didn't expect Yen Wei's father to have such a powerful background. After he defeated Yen Wei's father, Yen Wei's grandfather appeared and took Yen Wei away. Shi Shuexin became his grandfather's only successor. Yen Wei's father left the family to work alone because of his family's objection. He was young and had some ability, so he did make a name for himself. However, Shi Shuexin's father bore a grudge against him. He thought that Yen Wei's father's appearance disrupted the market, so he played some tricks and caused Yen Wei's father to suffer. Yen Wei's father and grandfather were not on good terms. Yen Wei's grandfather saw that his father was stubborn and did not contact him for many years. When he was about to die, he found out that his son had been indirectly killed. The Yen family was quite powerful and he did not have much time to live. In the end, he chose to nurture Yen Wei and let Yen Wei take revenge on his own. This was the beginning. Shi Shuexin was sent to Yen Wei's side because her family was in trouble. Yen Wei did not intend to let the Shi family go. He agreed to this condition just to play with them. When he was done playing, he would throw the woman of the Yen family out and then swallow the Shi family up, making the Shi family despair. However, he did not expect that there were so many ties between him and Shi Shuexin. When Shi Shuexin was sent to the manor on the first day, he made her his woman. It was not that he liked Shi Shuexin, but he wanted to humiliate her. Shi Shuexin was a weak-looking woman. She was only 19 years old, but she was sent to his side for the sake of her family. The man who originally looked gentle and elegant actually treated her like that the moment he arrived. However, she had come willingly for the sake of her family, so no matter how Yen Wei tortured and humiliated her, she did not resist. Especially after the original owner returned. At night, Yen Wei treated her like a tool. During the day, she would see Yen Wei pampering the original owner to the heavens. He would even let her serve the original owner tea. She was clearly telling her that she was just a lowly servant girl who slept in the same room. Under this kind of torture, even if the original owner was sad, Yen Wei was willing to be intimate with the daughter of his enemy. He had always had a pure relationship with her and didn't put Shi Shuexin in his eyes. He didn't deliberately torment Shi Shuexin. When the servants in the manor saw how much Yen Wei disliked Shi Shuexin, they gradually began to bully and torture her, making her life miserable. In the end, when Yen Wei asked Shi Shuexin to bring him a cup of hot coffee from the manor, she fell ill outside his office. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.